Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you a few ways to use the template. I decided to make this video because many people use the template, which is really great, but there are just some areas that I want to show you to how to use it better in your final assignment, what you're going to turn in. So I have provided feedback on all of the first drafts of the Unit 2, so make sure to check your graded folder for those and to read through them. If you used the template that I'm showing here, it is likely that I made a comment about putting each directive on a separate row. And I made that comment so many times that I decided to make this video to show you exactly what I mean and to show you how to do it to make it easier for you. If you used PowerPoint, then watch for just a few, like 1 or 2 more minutes, but then you can probably stop the video. But I am going to make a few comments that are relevant to everyone. So first, if I made the comment on your document that you need to start each step with a verb, I'm just going to go over that. So for example, several people wrote once something happens or when something happens in their directions, which would be here. Once, when, those words are not verbs. Verbs are action words. You can feel free to look that up in a 3302 class. I'm not going to bore you with the reminders of what a verb is. I know that you guys already know that. So the point is just to make sure that you are actually writing the steps correctly. And I'll show you an example of that in a moment. Another thing that is pretty applicable to everyone, for your title, you can use title case. So title case means to capitalize each word in the title of something that is quote unquote important. So usually not the articles and the prepositions. So for example, let's look here. Okay, so for example, this is the template, and I'm going to show you how you should also edit this template, so just follow along. So for example, if you are writing your instructions on how to convert a Word document to a PDF document, your title goes here. So you can simply highlight this with left click and drag, and watch how I type this. So we're going to do how to convert a Word document to a PDF file. So you notice so you can notice here that I have capitalized each word that is quote unquote important. I don't know a better way to explain that. Again, you can Google or look it up. It may be covered in the Markel book as well. I cannot think of what page number it may be on, but title case is just how it sounds. So how convert Word document, PDF of course is an acronym, so it's all caps, and file, those words are capitalized in the title of the document to convey that it is the title. So make sure that you use this kind of format for your title. The second thing that is applicable to everyone is here. So if you're using this template, obviously you would delete this, because you're basically making your own instructional document. You do not need the instructions that I provided to you in order to use the template. So just delete that, highlight it, click delete, boom, it's gone. Next is the introduction to the instructions. So everyone needs to have an introduction to the instructions. It does not matter if you are using this template or if you're using the or if you're making it in PowerPoint, however you're making it, it does not matter. The introduction must be there, and the document will be, your grade will reflect if you leave out the introduction, because it is a required part of the assignment. So for example, if I were to write an introduction to how to convert a Word document to a PDF file, I would just simply write why you would need to use it and any tips, any warnings, anything like that. So most of you have a really good grip or understanding, I should say, of what that means, but some people did not put the text here. So for example, I may write, and do not feel like you need to copy this. This is just an example, and I'm literally just typing this as I'm talking to you. So let's see. I may write, the purpose of these instructions is to guide you through the steps to successfully convert your Word document to a PDF file. And then next I might write, here, why would the user need to do this? And I would also provide an explanation of any caution. So I would also okay. So I put this in quotation marks, because I'm just showing you what would go there, but I hope that helps. So you need your introduction. Ideally, you'd also do something like this. Something like that, to let them know, to let their user know that these are the introductions and then the steps are coming up. So we've covered creating a title, putting the title in title case, which I've shown you how to do. I've shown you what that means. We've discussed how to write the introduction. And again, this is just me typing right now, but write the introduction that matches whatever your steps are, obviously. And let's see. We've also, the last thing that would be applicable to everyone, before people who are using PowerPoint, before you hit stop on the video, going to go over this quickly as well. So I'm going to go over this and then kind of go over it again. So for example, with the use of this template, you would know you'd put step 1, and then your instructions would be here, and it needs to start with a verb. So for example, if you wrote on your document, once the file has downloaded, or something like that, this is not okay. You have to use a verb, a present tense verb, at the beginning of each directive. If you are providing additional information about the step, it is okay to write, kind of how you would normally write. But if it is a directive where you're telling them to do something, it must be in present tense verb, a present tense verb. So I'm going to show you, that was just an example. I saw a lot of examples of once, when, after, kind of words like that. Rewrite those to start with the present tense verb. I think I have probably beat that horse enough to it should be pretty clear. So let me just show you an example of how to use this template, and this could also be applicable to people using PowerPoint, but to the folks using PowerPoint at this point, if you'd like, you can stop the video. It'll only be maybe a minute or two longer than this anyway. Okay, so if you're using the template, and I wrote on your document to put each step on its own row, this is what I mean. So for example, I have two images that I'm going to, two steps of how to convert a Word document to a PDF file, and I'll show you how to do this now. So for example, I have my one here. You don't really need to write first or anything like that. Stylistically, it's cleaner to just put the number. If you want to, put first, I'm not going to mark off for that, but you can just put the one. Make it clean, make it simple. Next will be the directions here. So my direction is just going to be to click File. So I also noticed that the text treatment for where the user should click was not consistent on a lot of the documents that I graded. So for example, if the first time you write click File and you put File with capital F in quotation marks, every place where the user should click, so if it's clicking on File or Home or whatever, it should be styled the same. So make sure your document is consistent. Consistency is a really, really big deal in technical writing, which is what we're doing. So I have click File, and then my image, I'm going to, of course, delete this. Highlight with the left mouse, hit delete, and now I'm going to insert my image. So I'm going to go to File and Open. We're going to go to my desktop. So I've already taken these and kind of just did a quick and dirty screen grab of what the steps are just to illustrate how to do this. So I'm going to click Open. What is this? Let's try that again. Let's say Insert in Picture. Don't act goofy on me now. Gosh. Sorry guys, I hope this works. There we go, it works. Okay, so you can see that mine is obviously quite ugly. I just did this to show you. All of the things that I've graded all of the images look far better than mine, but I just drew that on there to kind of show you for the purposes of this video. So you can see that in this row, so in a table in Word, like this whole thing here is a table. This is a whole row. So I have one, click File, and I have my image that goes with my directions. Now, I am not going to hit Enter and put a 2 right under there and then start typing over here. See, I'm not going to do this, because when you get ready to insert your next image, it'll be all squished up and it'll be really difficult to read. It will not look nice. It won't look clean. That's not what we're trying to do. So we're going to delete this. We're going to delete this. And we're going to insert a row. I'm going to, scooch that up so I don't have more white space than I need. And I think there are two ways to insert a row. I usually do it the lazy girl's way. So you can click in any of the cells in the row that you want to insert, under or over. So I'm going to right click, and you will see that it says Insert, and you have several options, but you just simply want to click Insert Rows Below. You want a row below your first one. So now I'm going to start with step 2. I'm going to put my 2 here, and I can't remember exactly what picture I grabbed, so let's take a look. So I'm going to click in the cell where I want the image to be. I'm going to click Insert and Picture. Step 2, let's see what this is. This is very large. If your image pastes into your document and it's very large, then just go, to the side over here, and you can just, scale it down. I'm not grading this for it to be like brochure quality, like it's perfect. I'm just making sure that you understand how to write the directions and the idea of how to lay the document out. I'm not trying to make you into a graphic designer. So for example, my second photo here is of telling the user to click the Save as Adobe Pdf. So this image, it could actually be a little bit bigger to kind of match the top one. For your images, like, they can't be that small. That's not usable. You cannot easily read that. If you were to give this to someone, they could not read it. So again, doesn't have to be perfect, like you could get it printed in the newspaper or something, but it definitely needs to be big enough to where the user could read it if this was going to be delivered to someone. So my second direction here is save as Adobe PDF. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to tell the user to click Save as Adobe PDF. So watch how I do this. So I'm going to write click Save as Adobe PDF. And now you see that there's one directive on each row, and you would just continue that process. So now that I have that, I'm going to right click, insert rows below. It inserted another row below. If your rows go to the next page, that's okay. Again, I'm not trying to make you into some perfect word user. I'm not trying to do that. If your rows go to the next page, that's okay. That's fine. So looking here, you'll notice that I have written the directives consistently. I've used the consistent capital letters. I actually, just to be on the safe side, whenever I do something like this, I just write it however it appears in the software. So for example, file is capital F, boom, capital F. I just duplicate whatever's there, and that makes it easier for the user as well. It makes it very consistent, makes it easy on you, makes everything look very clean and like it all matches. So for my next one, I do not have another image to show you, but this should be good enough to show you what I mean by put one directive on each row. So you would continue 3, whatever the directive was, and the image. Likely the next image would push this row to the next page. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, I think that is all that I need to cover for this. I hope this was helpful. Maybe you even learned a trick about Word. All right, please feel free to email me if you have additional questions. I am very happy to help you with navigating Word, how to use it, how to make things look nice. There's also a bajillion YouTube videos about how to do practically anything these days, so that's always a place that you can also go to for help. Thanks for your time. Thanks for all of the good work. All of the Unit 2 documents are really looking really great, so that's awesome. You guys are really doing a great job. Have a great week. Stay in touch. Speak soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.